Cool. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Now we start our program with the national anthem that was played during the late Isaac Robinson's sworn ceremony on January 20, 2019.
Early light, what's so brightly and our twilight's last gleaming, who's my star and bright stars to the perilous or was still there. Oh, say, does the star-spangled banner.
On behalf of the American Arab and Muslim Political Action Committee, AMPAC, we welcome you all. This show is a small token of appreciation, of giving, sharing, caring, passion, dedication of our late Isaac Robinson, who died last year on March 29, same day as today, due to COVID-19. We offer our sincere condolences to his family, friends, and loved ones, as well as all family who lost loved ones. With few words, some of the late Isaac Robinson friends would like to say a few words. Ibrahim Ayyash, State Rep Ibrahim Ayyash, our own State Rep of District 4 of Hamtramck and part of Detroit, who succeeded the late Isaac Robinson, would like to share with us a few words.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me thank Abdullah Sheikh and the team at AMPAC for putting this incredible event together. It was 1 year ago that I received a call that changed my life. But beyond changing my personal life, I didn't realize how much of an impact that this would have across the state of Michigan. I don't have to tell you that Isaac was larger than life. As grand as he was in character and in size, he was someone who had such a unique ability to see those that were often overlooked, to give voice to those who were often unheard, and to center those that had so little power at the fight of everything around greater justice. And that is something you simply cannot replace. Now, today, I may sit in the very chair that Isaac Robinson sat in when he was a state representative, but I recognize that he was such a unique character. He was such an incredible leader, full of humor and heart. And he fought so hard and loved Hamtramck in Detroit like none other. Now, for those that ask, well, who's going to replace Isaac? You know, there will never be another Isaac Robinson. But what we can do is honor his legacy, recognize the power and fight and might that he brought to everything that he did. Look, like many people, he was a complicated guy. But if there's one thing we know about Isaac, it's that he loved his community, and he had this very basic principle that if you were human, you were enough. And that was what made Isaac so special. He brought so many people together across so many divides. And we are incredibly grateful for that. It's why you see Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Christians, and non-believers all coming together, celebrating his life, because we recognized what an incredible civil servant he was. Now, I first met Isaac when I was 13 years old. You know, he was a political director for the Teamsters at the time, stumping for Barack Obama. And I remember the first thing he tells me when I see him, he goes, "Abraham and Isaac, the biblical brothers." And I looked at him a little confused. I said, "Wait a minute, wasn't Abraham Isaac's father?" And he said, you know, we're not going to get into all the details. And then he told me he's my Jewish, Irish, Catholic brother from the hood. And he was someone that was so incredibly aware of the privilege that he had and used it for good. I can't imagine what it would be like with Isaac in the wake of the Black Lives Matter movement after the killing of George Floyd. How incredible it would have been to have such a powerful voice like Isaac at the table. How incredible it would have been to see him on the front lines with his posters, fighting for our communities. So today, he is no longer with us. And it has been 1 year of complete shock. Our world has been upended in so many ways. But one thing I hope remains consistent is that Isaac and the spirit that he brought, that will continue through every one of us in our service, in our work to empower one another, and in our work to change lives for greater justice. So my thoughts are with Roger and Rosemary Robinson, his sisters, Sarah and Kathy, and so many people who loved Isaac. And I want to thank once again AMPAC for organizing such an incredible event. Zeke, we love you, we miss you, and we'll keep fighting like hell and getting in all the right trouble to fight for that greater justice. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. God bless you.
All those who attend this noble ceremony, may he give you guidance, may he show you mercy, may he always allow for us to find our way home. During these difficult times, it is a day like today that we look for the opportunity to be optimistic. We look to be idealistic. We look to find the best in all of us. For it is today that we come to represent the idea of public service, the idea of helping others, the idea of standing up for what is right, the idea that we can use the positions that God gives us to do great things, to have an impact, to have an effect, to ultimately change the lives of those who exist around us. For today we celebrate the idea that good things are possible. We celebrate the idea that with the notion of service, that if it's done for the right reasons, we can lift everybody else up, that we can allow for great change, that we can govern with compassion, that we can find empathy, that we can live with understanding, and that through service being done for the right reasons, with the right cause and with the right mission, we can have the opportunity to understand, to connect, and empathize with each other. And it's with that notion and with that belief that we come today to swear in our new state representative, Isaac Robinson.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Thank you for all this word that came from the heart. May God forgive our brother Isaac Robinson. With that said, I would like to introduce the president of MMCC, Muslim Michigan Community Council, Dr. Mahmoud Al-Hadidi. Dr. Hadidi, open the camera. We cannot see.
Yes, unfortunately, with the timing, I'm not going to be able to do the camera, but can you hear me? I'd like to join by voice only.
Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm very touched with the videos I've seen. Isaac leaves very good and sacred memories in my mind and in my heart. I worked for him for a few years. I saw a dedicated and very humble, but yet very powerful and strong man who represented those who didn't have voice. He represented the weak. He represented the people who did not have a representation. He was steadfast with his opinion and dedication. I remember one day we had a capital day in Lansing for Michigan Muslim Community Council. I'd like to share this memory with you. Isaac promised to come and show support and be with the community. That day, he came with a fever of 102. That was long before the COVID time. He had a fever of 102 and he had a fractured ankle. And he stood up with us for 3 hours. And every time I told him, Isaac, would you like to sit? He goes, no, I'm just fine. I'm just fine. I'm happy to be here. That left very deep influence and memories in my heart. I saw him also when we distributed food in the streets of Detroit during the time where the electricity was cut off. He called me casually. He said, Dr. Hadidi, would you like to come and join me? We're going to give some food. I said, absolutely. I'm going to bring a lot of food. And there were quite a few volunteers. And that day happened to be my birthday. I told my family, I'm going to do something special on my birthday. I'm going to take a whole lot of food. And we all went there. And with Isaac, stood there and delivered food and sandwiches and food portions to the senior citizen apartments and everybody. And Isaac was just calling everybody, come on here, grab some food, with a smile on his face. He was a giant at heart. He was a giant by influence. He was a giant by the way he touched people's hearts. I'm rarely influenced and rarely very complimentary of people in such a way. But I really have no hesitation but to share my love for the memories of our brother Isaac, my respect to him and his family, and I hope he's a role model for anybody who runs and serves in office. I thank you, Brother Abdullah, and thank AMPAC for the opportunity to bring this honorable person in memory, and this is really a sad day, but we will make it happy day by remembering our dear brother. Thank you again, and God bless you.
You are really an astonishing man. You, Dr. Hadidi, and MMCC with USAID, they distributed hundreds of thousands of food basket every single week since March 2020, since COVID started. And they are still doing it right now. And he himself, Dr. Hadidi, he goes in every single Saturday, receives tons of food, and make sure that more than 20 cities and counties and centers and churches receive all that. So we salute you, we appreciate you. And with that said, we'd like to introduce a partner in crime to Isaac. The guy, you see him everywhere. Isaac was state rep of many cities like Inkster, part of Dearborn Heights, Garden City, and many other cities. State rep June Jones.
Hey, good evening, family. I hope everyone is doing well. Peace and love to everyone. I appreciate AMPAC, Brother Abdullah, Brother Imad, for putting this all together in honor of our brother. For those who don't know, my name is Joel Jones. I'm a state rep for the 11th District. And Isaac's been my guy for a long time now, since I even started my political journey. I met him when I was a youngin' in Inkster. When he's been organizing for years. He's been working for years, getting people elected for years. And so he always used to come to Inkster. I always used to see him in Detroit. And we just grew a wonderful relationship over the years. Actually, before I even served with Isaac, I served with his mother. And so the moment that he came to the legislature, we were ready to turn it up. We did a lot of great things together, not even just out at the Capitol, but back in the community. And he was just somebody that he's somebody I could trust. I know he's somebody that a lot of people could trust. He was someone that we all knew and loved. He was larger than life. He's got his photo gallery is endless. We took so many selfies and pictures, documented so much of wonderful things. And he always kept me motivated. Even after my first term, when he came to join us in the House, he helped give me a new sense of direction, and really is one of the key reasons I'm so passionate about criminal justice reform now, and just giving people, access and exposure. And I think for many of us, we miss him, but his spirit, of course, lives on with all of us through all of our daily lives. And so I appreciate how this is all coming together, all the people that said so much beautiful things about him. Let's just not let his death be in vain. He blessed us with so much, so many incredible things that if we don't use those tools that he gave us while he was here, it will all be in vain for sure. So let's just keep doing the work, and let's keep organizing. Much love to all the family. I'm always praying for you all, but let's just keep that spirit going. He was a freedom fighter. He was a lifesaver. He did a lot of great things, even when he was, on his last few days and whatnot. He was still trying to go. And so it was always like I think this old Maxwell coffee says, "Good to the last drop." Isaac was good to the last drop. So let's just keep that spirit going. I love you all. Hey, peace and love.
Go ahead. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to make sure that I had a few moments to just acknowledge that we, the people, we really deeply miss our brother, Isaac Robinson. He was so much to this community. We were there to help him, to enable him to make a difference. He was for the people, he was for the voiceless, and we supported his endeavors. We miss him so much. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Elisa Grubbs. I was Isaac's best friend, my ride or die. You see, Isaac, you saw me. Today is a rough day. I really appreciate APAC for putting this on. I thank Ahmad Ahmad. I thank the Sheik family, the Robinsons. We're going to keep it going for you, Isaac. Going to keep it going. That's it. Thank you.
That's it for me.
Thank you, sisters. We appreciate you. I know it's a sad day. With that said, there's a long friends who love to be with us today and talk about late Isaac Robinson. I have brother Saeed Mashghari and brother Hussein Birri. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Just reflections of Mr. Isaac Robinson. May God bless him. May God bless his soul. May he live in peace, rest in peace. My friend Isaac was a very dear friend of mine. We became very close friends. Isaac was a different person to me. He was a very passionate person in everything he did. He was a hard-working person who never gave up on anything he committed himself to do. Isaac was a different person, different candidate, different official. He wasn't a person who told people what to do, but rather let people to do whatever needed to be done. Isaac and I worked on several different projects. We worked on many voter registration drives in many parts of the state. We worked together in participating in different protests. We worked together on election days. We held different type of events together where he was even the MC of the events, someone who kept the event very live, someone who kept the event very engaged. Isaac will always be missed. May God bless his soul. Rest in peace, Isaac. Thank you.
Good evening. Wassalamu alaikum. First of all, I'd like to thank my brothers, Abdullah Sheikh and Imad Hamad, for holding this one-year remembrance for the dear and late Isaac Robinson. Brother Barry, whenever I heard those words, when I walked in the room, I knew Isaac was in the room. He'd approach me. He'd always say, "What's going on in Dearborn? Tell me." And whenever you presented Isaac with a problem, he always started with, "Yes, what do we need to do?" See, I served Dearborn on the school board. I met Isaac. Most people forget that he ran for the Senate for the 3rd District, which represents Dearborn, Melvindale, and part of Detroit. I got to know him very well. We had many, many coffees. He would sit down and tell me, what does Dearborn need? What are the problems? What are the issues? He thought I was educating him. He was educating me on a man that loved people. Really, really fought tirelessly for the working people, for labor, for education, for human rights. I can tell you one thing about my dear late friend Isaac Robinson. He was truly colorblind, truly ethnic blind. Religion, no boundaries there for him. The most important lesson I learned from Isaac is every human life matters. So I will continue to pray for his mother, Rosemary, and his family, and his best friend, Elisa Grubbs, which we heard from earlier, and all of his friends, all of us. I will continue to pray for the patience and the strength that we need to get through a loss like Isaac Robinson. Brother Isaac, I say I love you, I miss you, and rest in power, Brother Isaac. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Saeed. Thank you, Brother Hussein. You made me cry. I like also to share with you few words from Islamic Center of Detroit, ICD, the Vice President of ICD, Brother Mansour, and also the Yemeni Chamber of Commerce, President of Yemeni Chamber of Commerce, Bandar Bawazir. Go ahead.
Good evening and assalamu alaikum. Definitely, it's a sad day for all of us for the 1-year remembrance of our late, great Isaac Robinson. But I'd like to thank the leadership of AMPAC for putting this amazing event, putting us all together here to share the special moments with such an incredible leader, with such an incredible public servant. We're all impacted by all the speeches, the pictures, the many clips that we have seen thus far, and I've never been touched by the speeches that we have shared as much as I enjoyed and really loved the moments that I had personally with Isaac. So once again, on behalf of the ICD, Islamic Center of Detroit, Board of Trustees, the staff, all the community members of ICD, we're definitely blessed to have had Isaac visited ICD. I do remember one of his campaign launch events took place at ICD. And I was 5 minutes early to the event. I walked in, he's like, "Brother Mansour, are you ready?" And I asked myself, honestly, internally, I was like, okay, what is this guy asking for? "Yes, I'm ready." He's like, "We're going to shake the town. Are you ready?" I was like, "Yeah, of course. Whatever you want, Isaac." But again, why I'm sharing this specific statement, because that was his motto. Anywhere he went, that was his statement. Smiling, passionate, happy, excited. And just like Brother Saeed mentioned, he was almost the MC of almost any major event in town. I do share what everybody just stated about Isaac. He never cared about the backgrounds, color, ethics, cultural differences. Never ever. Before even he ran for the state rep, I do remember him was being a security guard for our Ramadan Taraweeh prayers in most of the masajids. He didn't even stop at ICD or Masjid al-Salam DCC or Masjid Dearborn. He was all over the place. And I do remember him running a lot of food drive and a lot of events in Detroit for the homeless people. So once again, Isaac, your memories will always be here. And I want to conclude with this statement that would be a remembrance for all of us. Work with the end result in mind. That's exactly what Isaac did in his life. And that's why we're here today, remembering the great projects that he did. Once again, thank you, AMPAC. I appreciate every effort that you did for this event. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I want to thank AMPAC, Ahmad Hamad, for organizing this event. Brother State Representative Isaac Robinson, we did witness so many activities, so many events together. We did door knockings. He was a very good friend to the Yemeni American Chamber of Commerce and to the entire community. State Representative Isaac Robinson was one of the kindest people you ever meet in your life. He dedicated most of his time serving the community. Always stand up for the community, fight for social justice. And he did fight for clean air pollution. His main concern was the health and the safety of our community. I'm glad the Yemeni American Chamber of Commerce did award Isaac Robinson, and it's our dinner back in 2019, a tribute for best leadership of the year for his outstanding leadership and effort, fight for social justice and equality, and for being a true public servant. Last year has been a very difficult year for all of us. We have lost many good friends in our community due to the corona pandemic. We ask Allah to have mercy on all of them. Assalamu alaikum.
I am going to begin the fight to advocate because of Citizens United. We've got to level the playing field for Isaac and all the Democrats around this country and this state. I'm going to begin to advocate for the public financing of local municipal elections.
Thank you so much, Brother Mansour. Thank you so much, Brother Bandar. With that said, an old friend, Brother Masoud Awalmi.
Hello, peace upon everyone. I mean, I feel at this moment really speechless, talking about not just a champion and advocate of all kinds of social justices when it's come to economic justice, when it's come to health justice, social service, wages, you name it. As a young advocate, which we start literally together. I mean, we went to school together. We established so many chapters. One of the great things we established at University of Michigan, the first chapter ever, the NAACP. And also we established another social organization called I Urge, which try to promote dialogue and connect with and built strategic alliances with all of our brothers and sisters in struggle. When we talk about Asian American, when we talk about Hispanic, when we talk about Black brother and sister, we really work it collectively together to achieve this goal, because we believe the only way up is working collectively as a strategic partner with all the other ethnic group. That's how we can make it happen, and that's how we can always stand up for our rights. We learn early on. Isaac, believing in that mission. Always, I believe that we have to educate, we have to assist, we have to empower the underdog, the less privileged, the less fortunate. And he was really a true public service, a grassroots leader when we start as a young Democrat and collectively work with all these groups. And you know that his memory we're gonna last forever, and it's gonna be for generation to come. His accomplishment, achievement, and his grassroots work literally will last forever. And I can talk a lot about Isaac, even in that remembrance. I don't think we gonna pay him a fair share, because for a young guy, 44 years old, to lose him that early, I believe the only thing we can commit to after his passing, that to follow in his footsteps and carry all these great things he stand up for, and believing that rights are earned, not given. That's what he always advocate. That's what he always trying to promote, and that's what he always champion, these great causes for people to come collectively together to make a difference, to create an impact, to empower people to a point where everybody's completely mobilized, organized, vocalized, and ultimately that's what's going to lead us to empower each and everyone, whether it's individually or collectively, as a group and community, coming together and working in these great initiative he built and follow through. I think that's something to remember. And I wish, he lived long enough where we give him his proper recognition. I believe all these great leaders, the best thing we can do, give them the proper recognition when they are alive. But I guess thanks to everyone who put this together, and this is something I hope it's gonna be a year in and year out. Every year we need to remember this great champion and advocate, trying to help us understand what does it take to really be a real advocate and champion of social justice and equity for everyone, and stay in the course. I cannot also forget his mom. His mother, as a state rep, she used to be our mother, and she used to really encourage us, motivate us not to give up, even in a challenging time. To her, also special tribute, because she lost a great son and a great champion. But we are behind her. We are behind Sarah, his sister, his dad. It's a family of advocates. Hopefully, we can do that great work. And we deeply appreciate your help and your support and joining us, and wish you all the best. And we wish Isaac, his soul, that it may rest in peace. And he was watching us from above. Thank you. Take care.
That's why I wear the hat. But today, I really would like to tip my hat off to a true, genuine fighter for people, State Representative Isaac Robinson. I know nowadays, when we talk about dignity, integrity, genuine leadership, people's interest, we see them in many cases missing in action.
especially nowadays, as we face tough challenges facing our nation. I think no surprise that Isaac resembled these values. Why? Because of someone like his mother, Rosemary Robinson, who was a true fighter for people and only for people.
Truly, I'm speechless. You thought of exceptional times. You think of exceptional circumstances. You talk about exceptional losses of loved ones, and life goes on. There are people who you meet during your lifetime. Many of them pass by just like that. And many of them, they leave a mark, a deep mark in your heart. Isaac was a great loss to the human rights community, to the civil rights community, to the social justice community. Isaac was one who lived a humanity as is, beyond race, beyond faith, beyond national origin, beyond color. He was one who represented America and its true values at its best. He was a tireless fighter, passionate, passionate, passionate. He was one of the few who gave politics its good meaning, which we sorely miss these days. Isaac's loss is not just a public loss. It's also a personal loss to me and to so many who worked with Isaac through a long journey of activism, door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood. This man never said no to help, never said no to assist, never said no to be any place, anywhere you call on him. And in many times, we cannot keep up with Isaac's leadership, with Isaac leading us to this fight and to the other fight. We all miss Isaac, not just Detroit, not just his district. Isaac is one of us. Isaac was more than a family to us. We all will never, ever forget Isaac Robinson, the irreplaceable elected official, the irreplaceable public servant, the irreplaceable passionate activist who never said no for any fight, regardless how hard or tough it is. He was a people's person. He lived his life serving people, and he died serving people. To you, Isaac, we say, we miss you sorely. We love you. May God bless your soul. We know that you're watching, and you know that you expect us to continue the fight and to continue the service that you started. And we're here to pledge that your legacy will never die. Your legacy will live with us for long years to come, as long as we are alive. God bless your soul, and salute to all.
And I'm going to say it from my heart. Isaac is a sign of integrity, fairness, humbleness, delivery. He cares. Community, hard work, unity, diversity, honesty, and love to all. Isaac is always there to keep all community regardless of race, color, faith, and sexual orientation. He is a good representation of our Constitution. Congratulations, Isaac. You deserve it. We are so proud of you, and more to come. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, Imad. It was very powerful word. You made us cry again. Isaac has personal bond with everyone. Isaac was not about career or power or votes or money. Isaac was voice for the voiceless, was help for the helpless, was hope for the hopeless, that we miss thoroughly today, these days. In this spirit, AMPAC, with the community at large, will honor Isaac with a tribute book to keep his activism and spirit for more years to come. Yes, AMPAC is gonna offer a tribute book in the name of Isaac to talk about his life, his spirit. So our children, our generation, next generation to come, to learn from this unique personality. A man that you rarely find, a man that you cannot understand. With this said, I would like to thank all of you, all the attendees, all the guest speakers, all the people, the leaders who wants to be here and who want to share with you their feeling. I would like to thank you all for attending. And we have with us Sheikh Mustafa Turk of Islamic Organization of North America in Warren, city of Warren. With Sheikh Mustafa, go ahead, share with us a few words.
Is dear to me, dear to tens of thousands of people. Isaac was a man whom I known for many years with a huge heart that contained everybody, blacks, whites, immigrants, Bengalis, Middle Easterns, and never said no to anyone. And his contribution to our communities particularly, and to the general society in general, is unmatched. He would work day and night, relentlessly, to make sure that our voices are heard. We lost a hero. We lost an activist. We lost a man that probably it would take few individuals to fill in his shoes. He had to go. He had to go. We pray for him. May he rest in peace. And may his legacy be an inspiration to others. I'm certainly inspired by him. He loved everyone. He had a unique sense of humor to show you how much you are dear to him. And he never turned away anyone for anything. And he always did his best to make sure that whoever it is answered. So may he rest in peace. And thank you all for giving me this opportunity. God bless you. And thank you, Abdullah. And again, my apology for being late.
every time, as a sister a few minutes ago said, 8 o'clock in the morning, Isaac is there. 9 o'clock program, he's there. 1, 10, 12 midnight, he's always there. When his mom went run for a station, he said, we want to work. Day and night he's working. When I heard he's running, I said, this is the chance for them, an opportunity for the people of Detroit, Michigan to send a good voice, a good person, a fighter for those who are in need and those who are poor and needy and destitute, even for our insurance. Isaac is the good one. May God bless him. May God make him, take him to as far as he want to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Imam Mustafa. I would just like to remind, the video that you saw about the man and the award you saw. This is a moment where I get a call from Isaac, and he take 15, 20 people to that small restaurant in Hamtramck, and we went inside. We do not know what he's up to. And he called the cook or the chef, Sirajuddin, and he brought him up, and he gave him 6 awards, from Spirit of Detroit to the Congress, to the state, to this, to that. And I looked around and I said, what's behind it? How many vote Chef Siraj is gonna give Isaac? How much money he's gonna give Isaac? Absolutely none, nothing, none. However, this is ultimate human being. You go to the smallest place on earth, and you go and you bring the smallest people, and you give them that many awards every time. After that, with everybody, I speak this experience. This is beyond my imagination. I lived in so many countries and in so many states, but I never see that. I wish and pray all our politicians, learn from that. With that said, I like to remind you about the book, Tune, for more details about it. We like to thank WhatsApp Media, and their staff for what they did. And we thank AHRC and Imad Hamad also. And we thank all the speakers and the leaders. They are our leaders of our community. And we thank you so much for sharing with us your time tonight. And we wish you a good night. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.